Welcome back to Chicago. Today, the My Cause, My Cleats initiative. Many players on both teams proudly displaying the charitable causes they champion on their game day cleats. For more, we head down to the field and say hello in the snow to Laura Oakman. Laura.
Hi, Kenny. There's been some wonderful causes, and players have just loved this. Unfortunately, our weather is not cooperating. A lot of the guys can't wear the shoes today because of this. We're just getting a wet combination of rain and snow that's going to stick with us all day. So a lot of players had to change their cleats so they could wear extra long spikes so they don't slide all over this field. 49ers linebacker Michael Wilhoit is wearing shoes representing his close friend Gina Riffle, who is at home battling cancer. He said, "I am so disappointed I can't wear her on my feet, but boy, I am wearing her in my heart." Kenny, back up to you guys in that dry booth.
All right, thanks, Laura. Bears won the toss, elected to defer. Connor Barth gets things started. Having trouble scooping up the football is Corey Shepard. Now cuts to the outside. Shepard across the 20, 25. And finally out of bounds at the 29-yard line. 24-yard return by Shepard as Colin Kaepernick leads the 49ers offense onto the field.
And Colin Kaepernick told us how he's starting to get more and more comfortable, and he's had a long road back to get to the starting position of the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. This is his 7th start, but don't forget, 3 surgeries in the offseason, a new offense coming in with Chip Kelly. He's behind the curve, getting the opportunity for snap stat as he rehabs, so finally getting comfortable with the system that's been put in place.
Kaepernick carrying the booze as he gets set 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Kaepernick throws. And that pass cannot be handled by Torrey Smith, and there is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 96 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Akeem Hicks.
Akeem Hicks coming from the inside right here. Working in the one-on-one, and it's a little bit, where he's getting pushed in, but again, you got to be in control of your body as a pass rusher. The officials are going to make it the responsibility of the defensive player. That's what frustrates a lot of these guys with these hits on the quarterback.
15-yard penalty. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Carlos Hyde in the backfield. Tight end Vance McDonald shifting. On 1st down, it is Hyde. And Hyde is across midfield into Bears territory to the Chicago 48-yard line as we check out the San Francisco offense.
And rookie Joshua Garnett, the guard for the San Francisco 49ers, and they're going to have to work up front to open holes up for Carlos Hyde. The big thing that we heard with the 49ers, Carlos Hyde also starting to get back to that running style that they expected coming back from some injuries. You saw right there on that last run how physical he is.
On 2nd and 2, this is Hyde, and he picks up a 1st down to the Bears 44.
And it's been a tough go with injuries for the Chicago Bears on the defensive side of the ball. The area they're hit is the inside linebacker spot. And Nick Kwiatkowski, John Timu get the start this afternoon. Danny Trevathan out again. That's going to play a big role in guarding against Colin Kaepernick, scrambling on the called quarterback runs, and also Vance McDonald in coverage as the tight end for the Niners.
But no Trevathan, no Jarrell Freeman, the Bears leading tackler, serving the 2nd of his 4-game suspension. As Kaepernick's pass sails away from the intended receiver, Rod Streeter.
Rod Streeter, one of the guys that played well last week against Miami, going to get some more opportunities today. A little deflection at the line of scrimmage by the Bears. It's going to be tough sledding up there in that offensive-defensive line. The footing is going to be challenging. So if you're not getting there, you got to get your arms up and cloud those passing lanes for the quarterback.
2nd and 10, the edge Bears, Shawn Drone in the backfield, 3 receiver set. From the Chicago 44, this is Drone, and he picks up a 1st down and more. There is a flag as Drone is finally tackled inside the Bears' 15-yard line. But we will check with the referee, Pete Morelli. It's against San Francisco.
Holding, number 89, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So that negates the 29-yard run by Shawn Drone.
Vance McDonald at the tight end spot. going up to that second level, working. It's a good stalk right there, but his arms get to the outside. You get a handful of jersey. It's an easy call for the officials.
So the penalty forces the 49ers back to the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 11. Play clock is at 5. Kaepernick in trouble. He escapes for the moment and then is taken down. Eddie Goldman with the initial pressure, and then Willie Young with the sack.
Good coverage down the field by the Bears in the secondary, allows the pressure to get home. Now, one of the things about Colin Kaepernick, he's very athletic. We've seen what he can do running with the football, but he tends to hold the ball in the pocket, one of the more sacked quarterbacks in the NFL throughout his career.
Loss of 13. On 3rd down and 24. Akeem Hicks with the initial penetration, so the 49ers will punt it away.
And that's what we talked about at the top, Kenny. Opportunities for plays, the attention to detail, the little mistakes, the holding call, Vance McDonald on the big run by Sean Drone, the sack by Colin Kaepernick holding the ball a little bit too long, and all of a sudden you get back-to-back negative plays and it kills your drive.
Bradley Pinion punting from his 31-yard line. Bryce Callahan, fair catch at the 18 and a flag. Contact made by Aaron Burbridge after Callahan signaled fair catch.
Interference with the opportunity to make a fair catch. Number 13 of the kicking team, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down, and timeout.
So a couple of miscues by Chip Kelly's 49ers. Big sack by Willie Young. Bears out on offense when we return.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Back in Chicago, early 1st quarter, Matt Barkley making his 2nd NFL start, 316 yards. Last week against Tennessee, handing it off to Jordan Howard. Howard out to the 37 for a gain of 3.
Well, Josh Sitton was a game day decision and he is unable to make it, so we're going to have Eric Kush in place for Josh Sitton at the left guard spot along with Ted Larson at the right guard spot. And how do they do in this weather to get Jordan Howard going in this run game? We watched him on Friday, took some scout team reps, but you could tell he was not quite back to where they wanted to be, so Eric Kush in at left guard.
You had a look at Sitton. He is in uniform. Missed last week's game due to the ankle injury. 2 tight ends set on 2nd and 7. It's Howard, and he picks up a 1st down into 49ers territory. The rookie out of Indiana, 2nd leading rusher in the entire league among rookies behind Ezekiel Elliott.
They talk about a guy taking advantage of an opportunity. John Fox was going to go with Jeremy Langford. Matt Forte leaves. That's their plan coming into the season. Jeremy Langford gets hurt, puts in the 5th round rookie, and he's just taken off. And this 49er defense has struggled throughout the year stopping the run. Did a nice job last week in Miami, but let's see how they do this afternoon.
Howard gains 17, 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 44 on the toss. Howard forced the fall on it.
That's a smart play, though. Sometimes you see a young guy and he makes the initial mistake and now he's going to try and make up for it. I'm going to go down and try and pick this football up. All of a sudden you compound that initial mistake and you allow your opponent to get the fumble recovery. So good job by Jordan Howard. Just get down, get it covered up. Let's line up on 2nd down.
Howard to the sidelines, replaced by Kadeem Carey. Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Barkley from the shotgun, swings it out. This is Carey. And then he loses the football, but it bounces out of bounds after the hit from Rashard Robinson, the rookie out of LSU.
So we're really seeing mirror images of both of these offenses here early on in the game today, Kenny, with negative plays. The Niners on their opening drive look like they've got something positive moving down towards the red zone of the Chicago Bears. Couple negative plays. Chicago comes out. Jordan Howard has a couple of positive runs, and then all of a sudden a couple of negative plays. Stalls your offense.
Rolled an incomplete pass. Now 3rd down and 13. Bears must get to the 36 for a first down, as Barkley can't find anyone downfield, and he is out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So the Bears will send out the punting unit.
Well, this was a good decision by Matt Barkley. They're trying to get a little screen out here to the right, and they've got defenders sitting right in the throwing lane, so he's forced to pull it down. And I think we'll see this with the conditions today. They're playing conservative right now, but you just can't have a critical turnover early in a game.
Pat O'Donnell out to punt. Jeremy Curley back deep for the Niners. Curley will let it go. Bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Early first quarter in the snow in Chicago. No score.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
Darryl, we won't get much sympathy today in Chicago. It's snowing in Hawaii.
Seriously.
Up in the mountains.
Kenny, that may be one of your better nuggets all time.
It is true. It has been confirmed. Here's Hyde. Hyde out to the 24-yard line, gain of 4, setting up 2nd down and 6.
And just a great element to have with the offense that they're running here with San Francisco. You need that physical runner to complement the athleticism that Colin Kaepernick brings at that quarterback spot. It's a simple 1-2 punch, but it's going to be very, very challenging for this Bears front.
On 2nd and 6, Kaepernick moving to his left. Colin Kaepernick last week, 113 yards on the ground, most by an NFL quarterback this season.
And the majority of those coming on a play just like that, where it's a scramble. And not a lot of called quarterback runs, and you didn't see a lot of opportunities where he kept it on the zone replays. A lot of times it's the breakdown in coverage and his athleticism as that field opens up. That's why when you play a quarterback like Colin Kaepernick, you've got to be careful your man coverage, the amount of man coverage you use where your guys are turning their back to the quarterback.
3rd down and 4. 49ers must get to the 30 for a first down as Kaepernick is wrapped up and taken down back at the 21-yard line. Eddie Goldman along with Cravon LeBlanc.
And I really think that this is part of that being comfortable that Colin Kaepernick is talking about. It's understanding when the progression is gone, and you need to pull the ball down and use that athleticism to try and get the first down.
So 2 sacks for the Chicago defense. They did not have a sack over their last 2 games. Good field position for the Bears offense as the punt comes to a halt at the 42.
Today's game is sponsored by Amazon Echo. Information, music, news, and more. Just ask. By Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by the $10 any carry-out deal from Pizza Hut. Only at Pizza Hut.
Colin Kaepernick over the first 2 series. Only 2 rush yards, and he's been sacked twice.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that he's going to have to work on. He's got to get through his progressions cleaner, recognize when protection is breaking down, and then use that athleticism. Cannot have the negative plays.
Movement prior to the snap.
Ball start, number 64, offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
That's the left guard, Eric Kush. Kush starting for Josh Sitton today at left guard.
4 down, 50.
4th start of the season for Kush. First down and 15 following the penalty. This is Howard. Eli Harold coming in to make the tackle. Loss of 2 on the play for Jordan Howard.
A couple of good outside edge players for the San Francisco 49ers defense. Eli Harold holds his point of attack, and then you've got Ahmad Brooks coming from the backside in pursuit to shut that running play down.
Brooks now in his 9th season with the 49ers. Second down and 17.
Hey, Mike's 5-1. Hurry.
Barkley hands it off on second down. This is Howard. And he works his way out to the 38-yard line. Wrapped up by the first-round pick out of Oregon, DeForest Buckner.
You watch the Niners on film, and last week against Miami with Jay Ajayi as the running back, and the focus they had DeForest Buckner, Glenn Dorsey inside. You're wondering why they had struggled in the past. We talked to Ahmad Brooks, and they talked about just some subtle changes that they've made in their front. Maybe sliding in a little bit of a gap. Try to get that secondary element out of run support and let the defensive front take care of everything.
Right, Niners last in the league against the rush this year as Barkley was looking for Marquise Wilson. Bears will punt it away.
Working down the sideline, Marquise Wilson working against Keith Reza right here. Not a lot of urgency coming off that. He was a little bit gimpy at the end of that route.
O'Donnell back to punt for the second time. Curley deep for the Niners. Fair catch called for by the former New York Jet, Jeremy Curley. Good stand by Ahmad Brooks and the San Francisco defense. There was a late flag thrown following the punt. Back to Chicago in a moment. 49ers faced the Dolphins down south last Sunday. They spent the week in the Orlando area, did not go back home to San Francisco.
And we've seen that a couple of times this season. West Coast teams with back-to-back East Coast games or vice versa and electing to stay there. And the Niners down in Florida and then coming back to Chicago. Definitely not prepared for the elements today while they were working out in Orlando.
Temperatures in the 70s in Orlando all week. Niners won their season opener over the Rams. They've lost a franchise record 10 consecutive games. They start from the 12-yard line. This is Hyde. Hyde out to the 15. Gain of 3. Second down and 7.
And, you know, that would be tough for me, Kenny, because I was always a creature of habit, and to go down and play that game in Miami and then stay in Florida, you're out of your normal weekly routine. And so you wonder how these guys make the adjustments during that course of the week where all of a sudden they've got kind of a big shift in what their weekly routine is getting ready for that next opponent.
They flew to Chicago on Friday. Here's Hyde, and he picks up the first down. Out to the 28-yard line.
I think you're going to see San Francisco's offense, whether it's the run game, potentially some pass game matchups. They're coming after the inside linebackers of the Chicago Bears to see how they're going to play. Nick Kwiatkowski, John Timu, they're going to be under a lot of pressure to perform this afternoon.
Again, no Danny Trevathan, no Jarrell Freeman for Chicago. Hyde out to the 30. Kwiatkowski, the rookie out of West Virginia, makes the stop.
I tell you, and one thing that he can do, the one thing you do see from Nick Kwiatkowski is the ability to strike people, whether it's a lead blocker, whether it's the ball carrier. He got a little bit of time earlier in the season with some injuries, and that was one of the things that jumped out. He's got to get better with his assignments and different things, but when he's in the right position and he can make a hit, boy, he really hits the running backs.
Played some safety in college. On 2nd and 6, it's Sean Drone out to the 33-yard line. Drone, couple of games with the Bears back in 2014.
And possibly maybe the weather conditions, playing to the advantage of the Bears. Obviously the strength is the front. Sean Drone is going to be one of the guys that they hope to get in some matchups against those linebackers of the Bears in the passing game. Do the conditions kind of prohibit what they wanted to do from a game plan standpoint? to take advantage of that matchup.
Third down and 4. Torrey Smith in motion. Kaepernick steps up, takes off on third down, picks up a first down, and Kaepernick is out to the 46-yard line. So Colin Kaepernick needed 4, and he gains 13.
And we got a Bears player down on the field right now. Could be Tracy Porter, number 21. And we talked about this. This is going to be a dilemma all day long. And Willie Young, we'll get into more of this. We're going to break away for a commercial right now. And we'll talk about the challenge that Colin Kaepernick places against defenses.
Tracy Porter injured on the last play.
Yeah, diving for a tackle. Looks like he may got a pinched nerve as Colin Kaepernick was running, kind of caught that face mask and knocked it back. So checking his range of motion on the sideline.
Trayvon LeBlanc in for Porter, following the 13-yard run by Kaepernick. This is Hyde into Bears territory to the Chicago 46. For more on the 49ers extended stay down in Florida, we check in with Laura.
Actually, it's both sides. It's been an interesting conversation this week with both teams about this weather. Neither quarterback has played in snow, oddly enough. And usually this is when I talk all pregame about what are you going to do? What have you done all week in Florida and in Chicago to prepare? The answer was nothing. We're focusing on the game, not the weather.
All right, thanks, Laura. Here's Hyde. Hyde bottled up. And he will lose yardage. John Timu makes the play.
And we'll circle back and let you in on what Willie Young talked to us about as we get into this third and short situation. And when you've got a guy like Colin Kaepernick there, a lot of people want to do a cage rush, controlled rush, have a spy on him. And he says, you really can't do that because I really feel you're playing into the advantage of that offense. They're going to continue to rush. They have to have good rush lane integrity. You can't get pushed out of your rush lane. And you can't go beyond Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick hands it off to Drone. Sean Drone picks up a 49ers first down.
And it just seems like he's testing that middle. He's giving it to Sean Drone. He's giving it to Carlos Hyde. They've got blockers set up on the outside. So eventually one of these times, Colin Kaepernick's going to pull that ball. We'll see how they do out on the perimeter.
Either quarterback has completed a pass to this point. Kaepernick 0 for 1. Barkley is 0 for 2. Kaepernick keeps it. Out of bounds at the 35. As we head for a game break to Los Angeles, Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kenny. How about this one in New England? 4th and 1, opening drive. They go for it. LeGarrette Blount with a 43-yard touchdown run. That is his 13th rushing touchdown of the season, leading the NFL. Pats up 7-0. Kenny and Daryl.
All right, thanks very much, Carissa. Second down and 4 following the 6-yard pickup by Kaepernick. 10th play of the drive for the 49ers. Here's Drone. And Sean Drone has another 49ers first down.
It's very difficult for this defense. I mean, you've got good running backs. They're going to be coming inside. And this is assignment football. You know, you've got to have dive. You've got to have Carlos Hyde. You've got to have Sean Drone, DeJuan Harris when he's in there. You've got to honor that. But then you also have to have somebody on quarterback. It'll be interesting to see how Chicago chooses to play Colin Kaepernick in the different situations.
First and 10 from the 32-yard line. As Hyde is met by Akeem Hicks, who's had a terrific first quarter.
He really has. He's bottling everything up on the inside at this point right now. And you've got a couple of big bodies. Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks, those are big guys on the inside. And then the athleticism. When you talk Willie Young, Pernell McPhee, Leonard Floyd on the outside, Sam Acho, they've got the guys there to be able to defend this option-type offense.
Both teams keeping it on the ground in the snow. Only 3 pass attempts, no completions, no score in Chicago. We start the second quarter in the snow. Players taking care of their cleats.
Everybody taking care of the cleats. Even the officials waiting in line to get them cleaned up.
Second down and 10 for San Francisco. This is Kroll. There is a flag as Kroll picks up a first down inside the Chicago 20.
Holding. Number 65 offense. 10-yard penalty remains second down.
So it's coming back. Joshua Garnett, first-round pick out of Stanford, is called for the hold. Darrell, how about the Niners coming into this game last in time of possession, which is no surprise considering that the Eagles finished last in that category all 3 years under Chip Kelly. They've had the ball for 11 minutes so far today.
A very different approach we saw a little bit last week against Miami. Not that real urgent up-tempo that we remembered Chip Kelly's offense in Philadelphia.
The snow obviously has a lot to do with it. 49ers have attempted only one pass to this point. Following the penalty, they spot the ball back at the 43. No pass completions by either team in the first quarter. Only 3 attempts through the air. Kaepernick and Barkley, first career game in the snow. Second down and 20. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line is Carlos Hyde.
Played a couple of games in the snow, and what people don't realize is obviously the ball's going to be a little bit slick. You know, it's hard to throw, hard to catch. One of the things that I was not thinking about my first snow game was how much it impacts your vision. And looking back, looking up, trying to track the ball in with those snowflakes landing in your face, not the easiest task in the world.
Timeout taken by the Bears.
Timeout. Chicago.
Early second quarter from Soldier Field with the Bears and Niners scoreless. This weekend we pay tribute to the events at Pearl Harbor 75 years ago and honor those who selflessly serve our country. Fox Sports is proud to support emerging vets and players and its mission of ensuring our nation's warriors can be as productive off the field as they were on it by joining combat veterans with elite athletes to form a common bond over dedication and teamwork. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. Our Jake Glazer in Hawaii today.
And obviously being here at Soldier Field.
Snow continues to fall here in Chicago and in Hawaii. Third down at 15. Keep it on the ground with Hyde. And Hyde will be tackled at the 32-yard line.
It really may end up being, which one of these offenses finds a way, to be effective in the passing game during the course of this game. And you can see the impact of the decisions with the weather right here. I mean, the 32-yard line, and you're not even contemplating a field goal attempt in this situation.
This would be a 50-yard attempt, but instead it's the punter Pinion as he will try and pin the Bears deep. Fair catch by Callahan at the 5-yard line. Bears head coach John Fox scoreless in Chicago.
Game is sponsored by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand.
Chicago Bears start from their 5-yard line. This is Howard. Gordon Howard out to the 8. Buckner the tackle.
Well, we saw the graphic earlier, after that first quarter, that for Matt Barkley and Colin Kaepernick, their first time playing in the snow, but we've seen quarterbacks throughout the decades play in conditions worse than this. You have to be able to throw the football. You have to have a passing game element this afternoon. Defenses talk about making offenses one-dimensional by stopping the run. You can't help them by electing to become one-dimensional by choosing not to pass.
Second down and 7. Again, it's Howard up the middle out to the 12-yard line.
And I think the advantage really goes to the offense, to the wide receiver, in these types of conditions. And what was the one that Tremaine Brock told us? We've got to be aware of the double move. Chicago likes to run double moves in the passing game. To me, this is the perfect opportunity to run the double move, because as the wide receiver, I know when I'm going to try to sell you on the stop, I'm going to force you to slip. There should be no way a corner could stay with a double move today with the conditions the way they are.
Third down and 2, it is Howard, and he will pick up a first down out to the 16-yard line. A gain of 3.
That's a good job by Chicago's offense coming off their back line. You know, credit to San Francisco. They opt out of the field goal attempt. They elect to punt. They execute that for Chicago to start at the 5. Okay, now we've gotten our first down. Let's see if we can start to open this up a little bit. Start off with some flat passes, some screens, but you've got to find a way to get Matt Barkley comfortable to play in these elements.
Off the fake to Kadeem Carey. Barkley throws. Cameron Meredith. And that is the first pass completion. It takes 19 minutes.
But I like the choice in the play call right here. It's a bootleg pass.
There is a flag.
Meredith comes out of the break. It's well thrown by Matt Barkley again.
An eligible man downfield, number 72 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So it's coming back. The left tackle, Charles Leno Jr.
Well, and here's another thing. You know, that's the second big play we've had here early in this game with the conditions. We had a holding penalty on Vance McDonald by the Niners that cost them a big running play. Now we've got a penalty on the Bears getting downfield. It goes back to what we talked about at the top, Kenny. You can watch these two play, and at times neither one of these teams look like they're a 1-10 or a 2-9 team, and then you see the mistakes, the negative plays, and the inability to make the critical plays.
This is Carey. We can save that graphic and use it again at some point. So still no pass completions. 4.5 minutes in, second quarter. With the Bears and 49ers scoreless. This brings us back to what, the mid-1930s, when teams hardly ever threw the ball.
3 yards in a cloud of snow today.
Second down and 11.
One play! One down!
This is Carey. Kadeem Carey out to the 18-yard line.
Well, we talked about the struggles that San Francisco has had stopping the run game throughout the course of the season, but they really have seemed to have turned a corner, and they're playing much better run defense. So from a matchup standpoint, from maybe an opportunity to have success when you're doing your game planning during the week, yeah, we've got to run the ball effectively against San Francisco, but they've got to find a way to blend that pass. I really like the call that was pulled back with the throw to Cameron Meredith.
Third down and 8. Bears must get to the 26-yard line for a first down. Barkley sets and throws, and it sails away from the intended receiver, Joshua Bellamy.
And that's chemistry right there with a quarterback and a young group of wide receivers, and they just need more reps. They need more snaps, because this is going to be thrown to the inside, and Joshua Bellamy is breaking to the outside.
O'Donnell waiting back at his 5-yard line. Jeremy Curley is back deep for the Niners. And Braunecker comes running onto the field late.
Yeah, that might be a good guy to get back onto the field. That was a pretty short corner on the right side of the punt team.
And now the Bears took too much time.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
So they only had 10 players on the field. Braunecker came charging out. And now the Bears will be backed up 5 yards. O'Donnell now back at the goal line. Good pressure, and it was blocked by Sean Drone. And it's taken back all the way into the end zone for by Dante Johnson.
Looks like he stepped out about the 4-yard line, Kenny.
Yep, he is ruled out. 49ers are celebrating. But it looks like he did step out, and now flags are thrown for the celebration.
33.
So he was marked out at the 4-yard line.
And none of those guys
No, they don't
knew
even
that the
realize
play
it.
was blown dead
Ruling
at
on
the
the
4-yard
field.
line.
They still don't.
After the return, the runner stepped out of bounds on the 4-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 33. After the score,
Yep.
receiving team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Stepped out at the 4, the excessive celebration, so the 49ers are flagged. But it's the ex-Bear, Sean Drone, who got a piece of the punt.
Yeah, and it's actually Ben Broniker, who was late getting in right here, gets beat to the inside by Sean Drone. And that's a heads-up play in that situation by Dante Johnson. It's a short punt, you field it, and just steps out of bounds. But again, gosh, we keep talking about this. This is why you're 1-10. This is why you're 2-9, because you're making mistakes out here all afternoon to start this game. There are times when you watch these teams on film and they play well, they play at a high level. But what we're seeing here is the mistakes, the penalties, the little things, the lack of attention to detail that creates a season like both of these teams are going through.
On the 19-yard line, Carlos Hyde. It's bottled up, loses a yard on the play.
Good job by Nick Kwiatkowski. Trust what you see. You got a little run blitz there, get inside, and again, he is a sure tackler. He can strike.
What happened on the side of his helmet?
Yeah, it's starting to peel. I don't know if that's weather, but with it being Nick, it might be just the contact that he's making with these hits.
Right. Second down and 11. This is Hyde. Hyde down to the 17-yard line. Akeem Hicks the tackle.
And you get favorable blocking schemes inside when you run this type of zone read offense, because somebody has to honor the quarterback in that situation. So you're leaving a defender unblocked on the outside because he takes quarterback. That guy gets to come down inside. You get double teams and favorable blocking scenarios for the run game inside.
Third down and 8. Niners must get to the 9-yard line of the Bears for a first down. And there's the first completion of the game, but not enough. Vance McDonald, tackled by Harold Jones-Corte. So the first pass completion at the midway point of the second quarter.
And not a bad job by Colin Kaepernick right there, getting it, thrown and completed. Was not able to take the full follow through. Good catch by Vance McDonald in the conditions. This will be interesting to see here, Kenny, how the footing is with the plant and the snap hold kick of the field goal attempt.
Bill Dawson, who has hit 12 straight from the right hash, placed down by Pinion. And Dawson's kick is good. So the 49ers capitalize on the blocked punt. Dawson connects from 31. Two marquee franchises in the NFC, Bears and 49ers.
Some of the greatest players to ever play the game coming from these two franchises.
This is Deontay Thompson on the return for the Bears. And Thompson takes it out to the 37. Ball came loose. Officials attempting to get to the bottom of the pile. And it will be 49ers football.
Deontay Thompson, it's a nice return.
And it's Sean Drone who blocked the punt, who wrestles the ball free.
Reeling on the field, the ball was fumbled, recovered by the 49ers. First down.
What a sequence of events for the ex-Bear, Sean Drone.
That was excellent on the punt rush to get the block
We will
there.
review the previous play.
And you know, the big thing is guys like that, a guy like Sean Drone in that situation, he's going to be a change-up running back, but he's got to excel on special teams. He has this afternoon.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Citizen Echo Drive watches, powered by Light.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Fumble and recovery by San Francisco.
So Pete Morelli took a look at it, and now we will as well.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about defensive players punching the ball, but as you talked about, Sean Drone kind of ripping at it. You can see right here it's going to start to come loose. He loses control of the ball there, and there's Jimmy Ward, number 25, kind of finishes it off. That's where the clear recovery comes from, right there. You can see Jimmy Ward has the ball at the bottom of that pile.
So the Bears turn it over. 49ers first and 10 at the Chicago 37. San Francisco with a 3-0 lead. Returned a block punt by Drone into a field goal. And now on first down, it's Carlos Hyde who breaks through down to the 31-yard line. 8 of 6 for Hyde. 6.5 remaining second quarter in the snow here at Soldier Field.
Carlos Hyde is doing a nice job inside there. That's some tough sledding. He's averaging over 4 yards a carry. It's the predominant decision right now in the zone read. They're going inside with the running back.
Second down and 4. Donald shifts. And it's Hyde. No, Kaepernick on the keeper after the fake to Hyde. And a flag is thrown.
There's no foul on the play. There's no foul.
So Pete Morelli picks up the flag.
Working against Leonard Floyd here on the outside. He's kind of holding his position. He's got Vance McDonald coming at him as a blocker, and you got to hold that edge. If quarterback is your responsibility, you've got to get upfield. You can't take the block. You're not involved with the dive look, so make sure you maintain your edge contained, get upfield. Make sure that Colin Kaepernick cannot get to the edge.
Kaepernick averaging 6 yards per carry today. Third down and 2 for San Francisco. Bell shifts into the backfield. And Hyde will pick up a first down to the Bears 23 as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Kurt Menefee.
All right, Kenny, similar weather up in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers keeps the play alive. Packers trying to win their second straight. This will help. Randall Cobb. Touchdown and Snow Angels. They're up 7-0 over Houston. Kenny Moose and Laura.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. So a good start today for Aaron Rodgers in the snow. Set of downs for the Niners. This is Drone. Bukowski the tackle. And been a big first half for Sean Drone.
They talked about this offense being with the 3 wides, but here they're going to open up Vance McDonald right there at your number 3. Get all 4 out. What that does is it opens up the middle of this. It makes the decisions for Colin Kaepernick much easier. They ran a similar style offense with Jim Harbaugh, but they condensed everything. Had a lot of tight ends, jumbo looks. You brought everybody in and condensed them down. Those reads were harder. Colin Kaepernick says he's really starting to get comfortable because he can see this how this offense functions so much better.
First carry today for DeJuan Harris. And Harris takes it down to the 11-yard line for a gain of 9.
They can roll in 3 pretty good running backs at you. There's DeJuan Harris right there. Deion Bush coming up, putting a big hit on him, but Carlos Hyde is physical. We've seen him run here the first part of the game. We see Sean Drone, the change-up element that he brings to that position, and now they roll in Dwan Harris on you.
Harris picked up the first down, 3 receivers to the right. First and 10 from the 11-yard line. And again, it's Harris, but this time nothing. Again, Kwiatkowski makes the play.
Good assignment football right there, and a little bit of that wrinkle with the jet sweep coming across. Going to try and challenge your edge contain. How good are you going to be with assignment? There's Nick Kwiatkowski on the inside, responsible for the dive back.
'49ers send in 3 tight ends, second down and 10. Hyde in the backfield, 3.5 remaining, second quarter. Now Bell, one of the tight ends, shifts into the backfield, and Hyde off the fake. Once again, Kaepernick. And Kaepernick will lose 4 yards. Tackled back at the 15.
You got you, Kenny. You tackled the dive back. Kenny lost his responsibility. Kenny tackled Carlos Hyde on that one.
I wasn't the only one. So did Pernell McPhee.
That was a good fake. I tell you, that sleight of hand right there by Colin Kaepernick, that's tough.
Kaepernick lost 4 on the play. Third down and 14. And after Hyde takes it just inside the 10-yard line, the 49ers with a decision to make. As the clock continues to run towards the 2-minute warning. Dawson and Pinion started to run out onto the field. Chip Kelly will let the clock run down. 49ers with a field goal following the block punt. And now looking to capitalize following the Chicago turnover on special teams. 2 minutes remaining, first half in Chicago. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. The block punt by Sean Drone, setting up the only scoring to this point, the 31-yard Phil Dawson field goal. And here is Dawson once again, out to attempt a 28-yarder. Pinion places it down. Dawson from straight away, and the kick is straight through. So the 49ers now lead 6-0. The first field goal coming off the block punt, and this one off the strip on the return by Thompson. Just under 2 minutes remaining, second quarter. A couple of Phil Dawson field goals. He is now connected on 14 straight. There's Thompson, who was stripped of the football on his last return. Short kickoff. Taken at the 15-yard line by the fullback, Paul Lasike.
Tomorrow, we debate all of today's NFL action.
And I'll tell you why the Cowboys won't make the Super Bowl.
And you'll be wrong again. Undisputed, America's fastest growing sports show, 9:30 Eastern, FS1.
Cowboys now 11-1. Perhaps these Dallas fans were up in Minneapolis on Thursday night.
It's a confused fan right there. He's got the Chicago mitten on with the Dallas jersey on. They got the Chicago cover-ups in front.
Well,
maybe some didn't anticipate the weather.
No. This is Howard. And Nick Bellore comes up to make the stop along with Ahmad Brooks. Timeout taken by the 49ers. Bears running back Jordan Howard wearing special cleats today in honor of his late father, Dr. Reginald Howard, who passed away in 2007. For more, down to Laura. All right, we apologize. We will check in with Laura in a little bit following the timeout. Minute 48 remaining. Second quarter in Chicago. Second down at 9 for the Bears. Matt Barkley still looking for his first pass completion. He's 0 for 3. Hands it off to Howard. And another timeout is taken by the 49ers.
Hey, they have really shied away from the passing game. We had the one completion that was called back because of the penalty, but this has been just a very, very heavily weighted run approach here in the first half, and you've got to let him go. You know, you're going to sink or swim without Matt Barkley in these conditions, and you're just making it easy for this 49er defense because you're becoming one-dimensional by choice in your play call.
Chip Kelly knows Matt Barkley well, drafted him with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2013 in the 4th round. Second NFL start for Barkley. Spent last year in Arizona with the Cardinals. Now to the 32. There is the first completion. It's Deonte Thompson. Gain of 8 and a Chicago first down.
Let's see, you slide into a little 2-minute situation here right now. Maybe this picks up a little bit and you've got more options in your passing game here.
So both quarterbacks now with one completion. There is number 2 for Barkley. It is Thompson again. Quite a difference from last week against Tennessee when Barkley attempted 54 passes, completed 28. In the snow today, he is 2 for 5.
We would have had good numbers if he had some help from his guys on the outside. Just a ton of drops last week, especially in the 4th quarter on that critical drive with an opportunity to come back and win that game over the Titans.
Right, 10 drops in all by the Bears last week. A couple of crucial ones late. From the 42-yard line on first down. Barkley in a rhythm. It's Cameron Meredith. So Matt Barkley has completed 3 straight.
And hopefully, just because you're in this hurry-up type of offense, there's the double move right there. Again, we talked about it. Jimmy Ward, it's going to be so hard for him to adjust to that because the advantage goes to the offensive player.
28 yards from Barkley to Meredith. And now it is Thompson, but he comes down out of bounds. So Barkley, no completions over the first 28 minutes of the first half, then 3 in a row. And there's Thompson, not even get 1 foot down in bounds. Second and 10 from the San Francisco 29, 47 seconds remaining. Bears with 2 timeouts. Off the play fake. Barkley throws, it's complete to Meredith. Another Chicago first down to the 49ers 12. And a timeout is taken by Chicago with 39 seconds remaining. We'll look at what's coming up at halftime.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll get you all caught up on all the action around the league. The Packers host Houston. The Dolphins going for their 7th straight win as they travel to Baltimore. And it all comes up next when we all get together on the desk for the Visa Halftime Show.
It does look nice and warm and dry in Los Angeles.
Well, we're warm and dry. Well, maybe not warm, but we're dry. Laura's Hank. Got a chicken on Laura. We got to get her, see how she's doing down there here in the first half.
Yes, her microphone was frozen a moment ago. Step back with Laura. First and 10 from the 12-yard line. Barkley able to get rid of it. He throws and it's broken up, but there is a flag. Tremaine Brock in the end zone.
Really nice job by Matt Barkley hanging in there in the pocket. He's got a free rusher coming at him. He knows he's going to take the hit, but he stands tall and makes the throw.
Pass interference, number 26 defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Really arguing against this call. Let's see why Tremaine Brock is so upset. I don't see anything there either. At the point of the catch, it looked like it was defended very well by Tremaine Brock. He's got his hand on his hip, but he doesn't turn Daniel Brown. You can have your hand there and hold on, but you just can't turn him. I did not see the turn.
Bears with 3 tight ends and the fullback. This is Howard, and he is in for a Bears touchdown.
Maybe the Chicago Bears, forced into the situation because of the 2-minute scenario, learned that Matt Barkley can throw the ball in these conditions. They kind of had him in a very conservative mode to start the game, a very, very heavy run approach from the game calling, and boy, what a nice job there in that 2-minute situation, throwing the football around, and then here's the pass interference in the end zone. So let's see if there's anything prior to the point of the catch. Now, he's got his hand on a hip. I don't think that's a turn. I think that's the adjustment by Daniel Brown trying to go for the pass. So I'm going to disagree with that call.
Here's Connor Barth for the extra point. So the Chicago Bears take the lead after a couple of San Francisco 49er field goals. And Darryl, you're right. Due to the weather, the snow, Bears were very conservative, kept the ball on the ground. Barkley without a completion until after the 2-minute warning, but then 3 in a row. He was in a rhythm, and the Bears are now on top by 1.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where all of a sudden you're forced into it, and we saw that Matt Barkley's not played in the snow before, but it doesn't matter. These are the conditions this afternoon. Let's just go out and see how he's going to do. Now, this is a quarterback and a wide receiver group that has worked a lot together this week. They had a bad performance last week. The wide receivers let Matt Barkley down, had a ton of drops. They got together and worked through some of those things. So let's take advantage also of all that extra time that they put in this week in preparation to get ready for this game.
Jordan Howard with the 1-yard touchdown run. First game without a pass completion in the first quarter by either team, Darryl, since November of '88. The Jets and Patriots, the quarterbacks were Ken O'Brien and Doug Flutie. And then 64 passing yards on that last drive. Barkley is now 4 for 8. Bears lead by 1.
I still like the snowing in Hawaii nugget better than that one.
Thanks to our staff meteorologist, Ben Bowman. Snowing in Hawaii. You don't like that?
I do. No. I liked it better than the Jets-Patriot one.
No, that's what I mean.
That's history.
You don't like the Jets-Pat snow?
You know, it's good. It's interesting. It's history, but
that was not
the fact that it's snowing in Hawaii right now.
That was not the famous snowplow game in New England. That was a different.
That was the Dolphins
game, right?
That was the Dolphins,
right? I appreciate the props for the snowing in Hawaii, though.
I just want to know who you know in Hawaii up at elevation high enough to get snow in Hawaii.
Cannot reveal the surface.
Exactly. That's the big thing.
Kaepernick takes a knee, and the 49ers will let the clock run out. They're in the first half in Chicago.
You were waiting for that one all weekend.
He hopes to take one at the end of the game as well.
Into the victory formation.
Right. So a couple of San Francisco field goals. And then Matt Barkley with 3 straight completions on that last Bears drive. Jordan Howard with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. So the Chicago Bears with a 7-6 lead on the San Francisco 49ers at the half as the snow continues to fall here in Chicago and in the mountains in Hawaii.
Yeah, and remember, San Francisco called a couple of timeouts there thinking they were going to get the ball back, and then that's what kind of tripped this whole 2-minute scenario where Chicago rediscovered their passing game here in the elements.
Right, and the Bears will get the ball first in the second half. They deferred after winning the coin toss at the start of the game.
You know what, at 2-9, I come out in the 3rd quarter and I go in the 2-minute mode to start off.
They as well. Bears with a 7-6 lead at the half. The Visa halftime report coming up. 7-6 Bears. Today's excitement is brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Snow continues to fall. Kaepernick is wrapped up and taken down. Good pressure, and it was blocked by Sean Drone. This is Howard, and he is in for a Bears touchdown. Today's excitement brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. The first half numbers.
I don't think I've ever seen a game where the stats have been so pushed one side or the other. I mean, San Francisco, all we hear about last in time of possession. They got 20 minutes in the first half. And only 2 pass attempts, 30 rushes. That plays into their strength of a running team. But hopefully they saw what Matt Barkley did in that 2-minute situation. And offensively, when they have the opportunity, they start to throw the ball down the field a little bit, because right now, I think both teams becoming completely one-dimensional by choice because of the elements.
Matt Barkley, 4 of 8 in the first half. All 4 completions came after the 2-minute warning. Playing against the coach who drafted him in Philadelphia. So Barkley and the Bears start from their 25-yard line, leading 7-6. Gordon Howard in the backfield. He has the game's only touchdown. And this is Howard on first down. As the snow continues to fall here in Chicago. So do you think the Bears may continue to throw the ball a little bit after what they were able to do at the end of the second quarter?
I would hope so. I would hope that Dow Loggins saw what Matt Barkley did. He got into a rhythm, made some nice throws. The guys are catching it. Obviously some hesitation. Matt Barkley's never played in these type of conditions. The wide receivers struggled last week, holding on to the football. But boy, the best part of their offense was that 2-minute situation at the end of the half.
2 completions to Meredith, 2 completions to Thompson. Barkley looking to throw. And it is Bellamy who could not hang on.
That's a heck of a throw by Matt Barkley right there.
And now a late flag out at midfield.
Holding. Number 26, defense, 5-yard penalty automatic. First down.
So it's a hold against Tremaine Brock, who was called for the pass interference, which led to the Bears touchdown.
I see fundamentals when it comes to catching with the Bears wide receivers right now. I think one of the things, they're thinking about it so much that it's becoming uncomfortable. I don't think Joshua Bellamy has to leave his feet in that situation. I think he can run under that catch. And we just got to tell you what we saw at practice on Friday, just so all you Chicago Bears fans understand there's a concerted effort, not just this week, but all season long with these guys.
Right, here's Howard up the middle to the 40, downstairs to Laura.
But I'll tell you something also. It's not just a snow, it's a real wet snow. It's more like a slush, that sleet weather. And that's the first thing John Fox said when I said, Matt Barkley looked so good last week running the hurry up, looked so good on this last drive. Will you be doing more of it? And he said, we'd love to, but we have to pick our spots. It's so wet out here, and it's going to be hard. Ball control, field position are the biggest things with this game. Both coaches said that this weather is really tough right now.
Well, Laura's used to it. She grew up here in Chicago. John Fox is used to it. He coached in Denver. Here's Howard. And this time he loses the yardage. Forrest Buckner who makes the play.
But again, they talked about the wet, slippery conditions and the importance of every possession. But I do believe that because as an offense you have called the play and the defense is reacting to what you do, the change of direction, different things where you force the defense to start and stop when they're reacting to the offensive player gives Matt Barkley and his group the advantage.
3rd down and 6 for Barkley and the Bears. They need the 46-yard line for a first down. Barkley throws, it's complete to Cameron Meredith in 49ers territory. Meredith's 3rd catch today, as he picks up a first down, a gain of 22.
Well, real good pickup by Jordan Howard. He's going to step up and pick up the blitzer, Jimmy Ward, right there, and just drive him into the inside. That allows Matt Barkley a clean pocket. Again, there's a little bit of the change of direction. Watch Cameron Meredith as he goes through that route. He forced Jaquiski Tartt on 2 separate occasions to change direction. And in these conditions, that's going to create the separation that the wide receivers need.
1st and 10 from the San Francisco 38. 3 receivers set up to the right side. Barkley looking left. Hit as he throws. And the pass incomplete, intended for Howard as Buckner came with pressure.
One of the things you always talk about with young quarterbacks is courage in the pocket. And watch Matt Barkley right here. DeForest Buckner beats Charles Leno Jr. right away. And that's a big body coming right at you, and you're staring right at him. You know you're going to take this hit. And he hangs in there and makes the throw and saves the sack, saves a negative play, gives Jordan Howard an opportunity to make the catch.
Now 2nd and 10. Here's Howard. Howard inside the San Francisco 35.
Boy, that's not a good sign either. There goes Jordan Howard limping off. And I tell you, the injuries that have hit this Bears team during the course of the season, it's just unbelievable. You've got it in the inside linebacker area. Offensively, you've got a couple of guys with suspensions, bad choices on their part. Key contributors to this team out of the lineup for extended periods of time.
16 players on injured reserve, 2 quarterbacks, Jay Cutler, Brian Hoyer. Jeremy Langford in the backfield for the first time today. 3rd down and 7. As Barkley throws, it is Bellamy, and this time he is able to make the catch. He hangs on to it. Comes down in bounds for a Chicago first down.
It's so funny. You watch him on the earlier catch, and he's wide open, and maybe just has a little bit too much time to think about it. This time, it's a tough throw. It's coming in over the top. You've got a defender there, Rashard Robinson, right there as the ball comes in, and Joshua Bellamy makes the tough catch. Good for him. That was the critical drop last week. First down. That comeback in the 4th quarter against the Titans, has another drop here today, but comes back and has a big catch there.
24-yard connection. And now it's Langford, his first carry. Jeremy Langford gains a couple down to the San Francisco 9.
Well, this will be the key spot on the field. San Francisco opportunities with mistakes and special teams by Chicago in the first half, but kicked 2 field goals. So you just get the 6 points, and the Bears able to cash in with the pass interference penalty right there at the end of the half. Can they cash in here again with a touchdown in the red zone?
Bears send in number 83, Daniel Braverman, his first regular season game, rookie out of Western Michigan. This is the tight end, Daniel Brown, on the toss.
And how about Daniel Braverman? He's going to be your prototypical slot receiver, going to work the underneath coverage. You tell that they bring him in for his first play. What does he get to do? We want you to block Ahmad Brooks on the outside. Oh, boy.
Nice assignment. He caught 108 balls last year at Western Michigan. And now blocking the 11-year vet, the 2-time Pro Bowler, Ahmad Brooks. Third down and 1. Howard back into the game and back into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown today.
Good anticipation, good play call by offensive coordinator Dal Loggins. San Francisco coming to the inside. Watch the pressure here coming inside, and they've got the play called out off tackle. So Paul Asika leads the way for Jordan Howard. Good lead by Paul Asika on the fullback, up inside on the linebacker.
Fullback from New Zealand, former rugby star, Paul Asika. There's Barth for the extra point, just sneaks through. So Howard limped off, comes back in. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. In the snow in Chicago, a 10-play, 75-yard drive. Bears with touchdowns on back-to-back possessions after falling behind 6-0.
And again, the passing game is a part of that 75-yard drive. They come back to Josh Bellamy after a drop early in the drive. So let's see what San Francisco is going to do here.
Shepard on the return. And he takes it out to the 20. Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers offense trailing by 8. Full screen, stadium-sized content. Watch live local Sunday games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Hyper 2's watching in the snow through his camera. Men and women on our crew breaking the elements this afternoon.
Yes, yes. Thanks to everybody out there making our job easy as you guys are working in the elements. Hey, you got to go out and tell Colin, hey, listen, yeah, it's snowing out here. We're taking pictures. You need to start throwing the football.
They were out nice and early setting up yesterday as well. And they enjoyed some Chicago pizza last night. 2nd down and 6. Corey Smith in motion. Kaepernick looking to throw for only the 3rd time. And it is broken up by Bryce Callahan. Pass was intended for Jeremy Curley.
And this is the area where Colin Kaepernick has to take the next step as a quarterback. He's got to become a better drop-back passer from the pocket in a traditional style offense. We've seen his athleticism on scrambles. We know what challenges he poses for a defense in the zone read scheme, but he has to improve on being a drop-back passer.
3rd down and 6. Empty backfield. Thrown split out wide to the left. Play clock is at 3. 49ers must get to the 30 for a 1st down. As Kaepernick throws, and thrown was the intended receiver. Looked like it hit off the helmet of the linebacker, John Timu.
Good recognition by Colin Kaepernick in that situation. You split Shane Drone out to the top. There's John Timu. It's linebacker against running back. They run their double move. And you can see he gets the separation, gets beyond him, underthrown off the helmet of John Timu.
So Pinion waiting back at his 10-yard line. Callahan back deep for Chicago. Fair catch is called for at the 36-yard line. Bears with touchdowns on back-to-back possessions.
Today's game is sponsored by the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. This is the next level.
Today, the My Cause, My Cleats initiative. NFL players supporting the causes they care about, proudly displaying the charitable causes on their game day cleats. Discover more of their personal tributes at NFL.com/MyCause.MyCleats. And as we heard from Laura earlier, some of the players unable to wear their specialized cleats today due to the weather.
Yeah, you're going to have those molded, the short molded cleats. You're not going to be able to hold your footing with the elements the way they are today. So some of the guys had to opt out and go with a longer cleat.
In the kick. 1st down.
Legal shift. So the Bears from the 41-yard line. Legal shift on the punt. So Matt Barkley and the Bears go back to work, leading 14-6. Barkley throws, and again it is Bellamy in San Francisco territory for a Bears 1st down.
Again, changing direction, doing everything because the offense has the advantage in these conditions. And we saw this earlier in the 2nd half. Joshua Bellamy coming all the way across the field, had gained the separation from Tremaine Brock.
22-yard pass play. Jordan Howard in the backfield with the fullback Lasike. 1st and 10 from the 37. On the handoff is Howard. He gains a yard, and we head to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. In Atlanta, both teams fighting for playoff seeding in this one. Kansas City up 2016 on the road. Fake punt, direct snap to Albert Wilson with this 55-yard run. Kansas City up 27-16. Andy Reid taking chances. Kenny, Darrell, and Laura.
Dave Toad, the old Chicago Bears special coach. Kansas City dialing that one up.
Chiefs with the 11-point lead in Atlanta. 2nd down and 9 for the Bears. Barkley looking for Bellamy again, and Bellamy makes the catch. So he has bounced back in a big way.
He really has. I mean, it had to be such a hard week for him. He's got such an easy catch to win that game last week against Tennessee. He starts out this week with a big drop, and now he's made some really nice catches. Again, I talked about this. Looking back at your quarterback with all those wet snowflakes coming down, obscuring your vision, he's had a couple of really nice catches.
30 yards from Barkley to Bellamy. Bellamy now with 3 receptions, 77 yards. First and goal from the San Francisco 6. Meredith in motion, Howard in the backfield. This is Howard, who has 2 touchdowns today, and he is in for number 3. The hat trick for Jordan Howard.
Well, Chip Kelly's going to watch this play here after the game, and he is not going to be happy with the effort of his defense right here. This is not good for San Francisco. It's a big pileup. Jordan Howard just keeps his legs moving. Look at all those Niner bodies. That's not winning football right there.
Howard came into the game with 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's done it on 3 consecutive possessions. Barth, the extra point. What a turnaround by the Chicago Bears. They now lead the 49ers 21-6. Jordan Howard with a touchdown on 3 straight possessions for the Chicago Bears.
Nice mix on that last drive. You know, again, they've gained their confidence, kind of put in that situation in the 2-minute scenario at the end of the half. Matt Barkley shows the coaching staff, hey, I can make throws in these conditions. Even though I've never played in this type of weather before, I can make these throws, and they've continued that. And here's the great story about this whole thing that's happened here in the second half. This is last week, first and goal. Joshua Bellamy, it doesn't get any easier than that, and he drops it. They end up losing the game, and some of the catches he's made today in these conditions, very impressive. Now, we were at practice Friday, and wide receiver coach Curtis Johnson, when his group is not involved in the drill, they are working on the sideline, and I mean working. On Friday, it was contested throws. They're with a partner. The ball's coming in. Hands across the face. Guys tugging on your shoulders. You've got to make the catch. You drop the ball. Your first drop, 10 push-ups. Second drop, 20 push-ups. We talked to Coach Fox about this. He said, listen, that was not a response to what happened on Sunday. That's what Coach Johnson does all the time. He goes, I've never seen wide receiver group catch more footballs during the course of a practice week than these guys do here.
What a turnaround today. Now a false start.
False start. Number 68, offense. 89, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Zane Beadles and Vance McDonald.
And this 49er team completely out of sync. They had some opportunities early in the game with the miscues and special teams from the Chicago Bears. They kicked field goals, and now they just can't get back into a rhythm. I mean, Chicago has just stolen all the momentum in this game.
49ers have not won on the road this season. This is Hyde. Hyde out to the 27. In fact, their last road win was right here in Chicago last December. '49ers 2 pass attempts in the first half, fewest by any team since the 49ers here back in 2005. Their quarterback that day, Cody Pickett. On second down, Kaepernick will run out of bounds. Chased out by Leonard Floyd. So the 49ers now facing a third down with 5.5 remaining, third quarter. After the 6-0 San Francisco lead late in the first half, Bears have come back with 3 consecutive scores. We're down at 7. Let's get to the 35 for a first down, and Kaepernick is for the fourth time today. Akeem Hicks and Leonard Floyd. What a day it's been for Hicks.
You are not kidding, Ken. I tell you, this guy, he has played outstanding today, and he's just been a force inside. Working against Daniel Kilgore. They got a little twist there. Joshua Garnett coming across. Akeem Hicks comes free. And again, let's credit that secondary. They're holding down in coverage. Nowhere for Colin Kaepernick to go. And he's got to speed up that mental clock. He's got such good athletic ability. If it's not there and you feel that clock running down, just get out of there. Try to create a positive play.
Bearcats is called for. Callahan back at the 36. 4 sacks today for the Chicago Bears defense. Three touchdowns for Jordan Howard, most by a Bears rookie. Rushing touchdown since Gale Sayers against the 49ers back in 65.
One of my favorite guys, and I tell people all the time, go back and watch the old video of Gale Sayers. You see a couple of current guys. Matt Forte was a guy that I thought had kind of the slide that Gale Sayers had, but watch him. He never seems to break stride. He's always moving fast and forward. And it was just amazing to watch him play, and he accomplished all that in such a short NFL career.
In that game back in 65 against San Francisco at Wrigley Field, he scored an NFL record 6 touchdowns as Howard is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And for more on Jordan Howard, who has 3 touchdowns today, Laura.
Well, you talked about On His Shoes, Kenny, which are wrapped up, but they're a tribute to his father who passed away when he was 12 years old. He pays tribute to his dad every day. In every game since 7th grade, since his father passed away, he wears a shirt with his father's picture on it. And that is the same shirt. He wears it every game. He just had to cut off the sleeves because his arm got big. He was so excited about these shoes because he said, no one sees the shirt. I'm so happy to show them my shoes so I see it on the outside. Everyone sees it on the outside, Kenny.
All right, thanks, Laura. Here is Barkley for Bellamy. This time, he drops it.
Joshua, all or nothing Bellamy. I'll give him a little bit of the element here. He's been good in these situations today, but the one thing we talked about, just kind of some fundamental things, maybe hands turned the wrong way, leaping when you don't need to leap. He did everything right there. He ran through that one hand to hands in the good position, just didn't make the catch.
O'Donnell punting for the first time since early in the second quarter. Low snap. Bearcats back at the 15-yard line by Curley. Well, Seattle and Toronto in the MLS Cup for the first time ever. Jordan Morris and the Sounders, Josie Altidore and Toronto FC fight for their chance to make Major League Soccer history. Who will hoist the cup? Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Late third quarter in Chicago. Bears with a 21-6 lead. 49ers have lost a franchise record 10 straight. And they start from their 15-yard line. Kaepernick looking to throw on first down. Can't find anyone, loses the football. And it's recovered by the right guard, Garnett.
And that has been the issue today. This Bears front, there he is again. Akeem Hicks gets the hit, knocks it loose, but there's opportunities. They like their matchups at the linebacker level. I think they felt comfortable with some matchups at the safety position with Vance McDonald, but the big challenge was going to be controlling that front. Could they take advantage of those matchups by controlling the front? They have not done that, and I tell you, the big one has been Akeem Hicks. He's had a heck of an afternoon.
9 tackles, a sack, and now a forced fumble. Second down and 10. This is Hyde. Hyde out to the 20-yard line as we check back in with Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Snowing in Chicago, also snowing in Green Bay. Houston's anemic offense down by 7 gets back on track to start the second half. Brock Osweiler to tight end Ryan Griffin. We're all tied up at 7. Kenny, Daryl, and Laura.
Thanks very much, Carissa. Texans atop the AFC South. Tied at 7 with the Packers in Green Bay. They're down at 4. Niners must get to the 25-yard line for a first down as Kaepernick throws too far for the tight end McDonald. So now San Francisco will punt it away.
And you just got to make those throws. We talked about making the critical plays when they're there. 21-6, you've got your deep threat, Vance McDonald, running free in the secondary. You've got to make this throw. Your offensive line does block. They give you the opportunity to take advantage of that matchup. And this is not close. He doesn't even give Vance McDonald the opportunity to make the catch.
Pinion punting from his 10. Fair catch is called for by Callahan at the 35-yard line. So the Bears take over. 1:14 on the clock. Third quarter. Leading the 49ers 21-6. Jordan Howard with all 3 Chicago touchdowns.
And just a much different approach since the 2-minute situation at the end of half came out. Was very conservative in their play call, trying to establish that running game, and then all of a sudden they find out that Matt Barkley can make some throws in these conditions, even though he hasn't played. And San Francisco, who really dominated the first half time of possession, just didn't take advantage of those opportunities, just kicking the 2 field goals.
Play action on first down. As Barkley throws, there is a flag. As Deontay Thompson remains down.
I'm interested to see what the flag is. Did he shove? Did Deontay Thompson shove? Or is he just trying to get back to make a play on the football? Working against Jimmy Ward on the outside. There again, there it is, the double moves. They all knew about him. Jimmy Ward plays it really well right there. That is not offensive pass interference to me.
Pass interference on number 14, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's an underthrown deep ball, and I did not see Deontay Thompson shove him to create this, or to create the separation to get back in there. I think it's just a really nice adjustment by Deontay to get back and make the catch. So we had one at the end of the first half against San Francisco in the end zone. I didn't think that was PI, and I don't think that that's offensive pass interference.
So Thompson off to the sidelines. Don Fox does not agree. Pete Morelli telling Thompson to leave the field due to the hit to the head.
Yeah, and I do that. I have tremendous respect for Pete Morelli in that situation. We've seen several officials this season make sure the guys get off if they've had a hit to the head.
Penalty markers. Movement prior to the snap. Catch is made by Bellamy out of the 41-yard line.
Offside. Number 95, number 90, defense. Penalty will be declined. Second down.
Glenn Dorsey jump. Bears take the result of the play, a 17-yard reception.
Right on the nose. A little bit early. Never understand how the nose tackle. That's a neutral zone infraction.
As Thompson has his helmet back on. Second down and 4. And Howard has a first down and more. Jordan Howard finally tackled inside the 35-yard line of the 49ers. Finally brought down by Ward and Hodges after a gain of 26.
And this one's just coming straight through this way. Good blocking, a double there, and then Eric Kush climbs up to the linebacker. That's excellent by Eric Kush inside. Helps secure the nose with Cody Whitehair, and then he bounces up to the second level to get the linebacker.
So Howard picks up a first down. He has all 3 touchdowns for the Bears as we head to the fourth quarter in the snow in Chicago. Downs all from Jordan Howard. By the way, Chicago's season high this year, 23 points. They have 21 today, and they are on the move. First and 10 from the 33-yard line of San Francisco. On the end around, it is Bellamy. And Bellamy Has another Chicago Bears first down to the 21-yard line. Gain of 12.
Yeah, this one, Joshua Bellamy, I think if he stays outside, he's got an opportunity for an even bigger play. He's going to have Ben Broniker out there in front. He's got a wide receiver blocking downfield. If he could have kind of got into that alley out on the perimeter right there. Stay outside.
Second carry of the season for Bellamy. Howard in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 21. Broniker in motion. This is Howard on the handoff from Barkley. And Howard gains 2 down to the 19-yard line.
Cody Whitehair is down for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, he came up limping earlier after one of the Howard touchdowns. And now Whitehair again shaken up.
Number 65 trying to climb up to that second level. Looks like he gets rolled up by Jordan Howard, kind of falls while his foot is planted.
The rookie out of Kansas State. Back in a moment.
This game is sponsored by Verizon. It's always a great gift on Verizon.
Cody Whitehair to the sidelines. So Ted Larson shifts to center. Josh Sitton in at right guard. Barkley's pass a bit behind Cameron Meredith.
Josh Sitton isn't sitting anymore.
No.
So let's take you through that offensive line of the Chicago Bears now. So Josh Sitton will come in at the guard spot. Ted Larson will shift into the center spot to take over for Cody Whitehair. So you should have Eric Kush left guard, Ted Larson center, and Josh Sitton right guard.
Bears have lost a couple of offensive linemen for the season. Their center at the start of the season, Ronald Strasu, Kyle Long, injured a couple of weeks back. And now Whitehair on the sidelines. 3rd down and 8 as Barkley is taken down by Ahmad Brooks.
Yeah, it's one of those guys, you have to understand matchups, and it's one of the things that younger guys will do. Ahmad Brooks is right here. He's going up against Daniel Brown at tight end. That's a matchup that favors San Francisco. So you got to bring a wide receiver down to chip before he releases. You got to have your back released that way. You got to look at those matchups and make sure that it's something that is not going to be a potential for a big turnover.
45-yard attempt. Connor Barth. Patrick O'Donnell is the holder. Barth 13 of 17 on the season. And his kick is good. So it's a season high, 24 points.
And Pat O'Donnell's done a heck of a job as the holder on the last 2 kicks.
There's Blaine Gabbert. Looks like he is going to replace Colin Kaepernick at quarterback for the 49ers, who trail the Bears 24-6. Shepard on the return. And he gets upended. Jarek McManus. Terrific play on special teams.
And Rod Streeter's down for the 49ers as well. Slow to get up. Down on one knee. He's up and moving towards the sideline now, but Jarek McManus comes in, puts a big hit.
So here comes Gabbert, who started the first 5 games of the season for San Francisco. Also last December, the last road win by the 49ers, we were here, Darryl. Gabbert with a 44-yard touchdown run, and then the 71-yard touchdown pass to Torrey Smith in overtime to win the game.
Yeah, right now, Colin Kaepernick, up until this point in the game, 1 for 5, 5 sacks, minus 21 yards passing. And we talked about him passing from the pocket. At 24-6, you're going to need somebody who's better in the pocket. And Blaine Gabbert is a better passer from the pocket than Colin Kaepernick.
Curley slipped, able to make the catch, so Gabbert now has as many completions as Kaepernick today.
Good concentration by Jeremy Curley right there. Going down, being able to pop that ball up off the turf, staying with it.
Gain of 18. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Gabbard able to get rid of it. Hyde attempted to make the adjustment. Timu on the coverage.
Now we got a Bear down in the secondary. Cravon LeBlanc. Cravon LeBlanc right here. Deion Bush is coming across the field, trying to get involved in the pass downfield, has the collision with Cravon LeBlanc.
Today's game is sponsored by Samsung Pay. Turn your phone into your wallet.
Blaine Gabbert entered quarterback for the 49ers. Second down and 10. From the 34-yard line. Gabbert to the near side, and Torrey Smith unable to hang on.
Yeah, and everything underthrown here by Blaine Gabbert as well, but there's Colin Kaepernick on the side. You see the numbers right there, and let's not forget, this is 1 week removed from a performance that a lot of people, a lot of San Francisco 49er fans harkening back to 2012, 2013, when Colin Kaepernick was playing at a very, very high level in the NFL.
He passed for 296 last week, ran for another 113. Much different story today. Third down and 10. And Gabbert's pass would not be handled by McDonald. Looked like he thought about running before he made the catch.
Yeah, just fundamentals, not looking the ball all the way in. And really right now, you know, the 49ers are in a spot. Blaine Gabbert is a free agent. Colin Kaepernick is a free agent. They've got to make a big decision. You look at that free agent quarterback market, I don't think there's a game changer available to bring in. So what is Chip Kelly going to do in this scenario?
The punt by Pinion. Callahan fair. Not called for the fair catch. Takes it out to the 32-yard line. And you talk about the future for the 49ers. You mentioned both Kaepernick and Gabbert free agents. Some talk this week about Chip Kelly perhaps going back to the University of Oregon, although he says that he will not. So many questions for the 49ers moving forward.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is getting some consistency at the quarterback position. You've got to have continuity there, and right now the San Francisco 49ers don't. Chicago has a decision to make themselves in the offseason. In San Francisco, both of these guys are going to be quarterbacks. Colin Kaepernick did some restructuring to his contract earlier this year. He can walk away from that contract and become a free agent. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's the elements. If the elements are going to be something that impacts a quarterback's game to the degree, when you look at what Colin Kaepernick did last week in Miami to what he's doing in the snow this week in Chicago, if that's a result of the weather here, then that's not a good scenario. You've got to have a quarterback that can play in all conditions. And you look forward into the future, you know, you've got Green Bay, you've got teams where you could run into weather like this. You've got Seattle. You've got situations where it could be inclement weather in the divisional round, in the championship game. You've got to be able to perform under these conditions. So, I would hope that this would not be something that impacted Colin Kaepernick today, and that there's that dramatic of a difference from last week to this week. But we saw Blaine Gabbert come out. He's got the one victory this year, the opening game against the Rams, and he comes out and he's underthrowing footballs. So it's going to be hard. This is going to be a tough offseason for the Niners, and I think the Bears in a similar situation. What are they going to do? Is it time to say goodbye to Jay Cutler, to allow him to go somewhere and get a fresh start, and for them to start moving forward and going in a different direction? You know, is Brian Hoyer the guy that you want to move forward with? That's why today, with Matt Barkley out there, John Fox wants to take a long look and see what he has in this young guy.
Second down and 2 as Barkley hands it off to Howard. Mentioned Cutler, he started 5 games, underwent shoulder surgery. Hoyer started 5 games. He was out on the field prior to the game, and now Barkley in his second start. Not complete a pass until a minute 43 remained in the second quarter today, but has done a nice job since. There's Hoyer. on the Chicago sideline.
But you kind of look at where John Fox has been, and everybody looked at year 2. He had a great year 2 in Carolina. He had a great year 2 in Denver. But, let's go back and take a look at those times there, 2003 to 2005 in Carolina. The passing offense and Jake Delhomme kind of middle of the road in the NFL. But what he did have was a good defense, and his team led the NFL in takeaways during that 3-year stretch. You go out to Denver, that's 2012 to 2014. Their offense is a little bit better. They've got Peyton Manning there. They're 3rd in the NFL, or 6th in the NFL. He's 3rd overall. Another good defense.
Quentin Dial, the injured liner.
And pretty good in takeaways there. So really, here they've got a top 10 defense. He's made that impact. John Fox has made that impact. They're number 9 here this year. They've got to get the quarterback situations figured out. And this defense, the Chicago defense, has got to start taking the ball away. They're tied with the Jaguars for fewest takeaways the last 2 years in the NFL. And that's always been a staple of a John Fox defense.
49ers medical staff tending to Quentin Dial. We talked about the success Fox had. He brought both Carolina and Denver to the Super Bowl in his 2nd season with both organizations.
Well, it's interesting because who are the big additions there? You got to build your team through the draft. He gets Julius Peppers when he's in Carolina. He gets Von Miller when he's in Denver. He's gone out and got Leonard Floyd. Is Leonard Floyd going to be the guy? You look at what those big edge rushers have done in Carolina, in Denver, with John Fox and that defense, and you look at Leonard Floyd. Went out and got him 9th overall this year. I think he is going to be a good player. I think he could be one of those guys you have to worry about in pass protection. Can he be a Julius Peppers? Can he be a Von Miller? Bears fans are sure hoping so. But that's one of the things that John Fox goes to as he starts to build that team. The other one is quarterback. He had Jake Delhomme there in Carolina. He was fortunate to be able to go out and get Peyton Manning when he was in Denver. The question is, what does John Fox and the organization do here with the quarterback situation to create that continuity?
Quentin Dial heading off the field. And we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
All right, guys, Green Bay was in a tie game with Houston until Aaron Rodgers does it again. This time looking up at Jordy Nelson. Nelson's 10th touchdown reception of the year. 32-yarder puts the Packers up by 7 in the 4th quarter. Kenny Moose and Laura.
Well, the snow certainly not affecting Aaron Rodgers on that throw.
No. That helps when you got a guy like Jordy Nelson. Now, how do you let Jordy Nelson get behind you?
18's out. 2nd down and 6. Here's Howard, who has gone over 100 yards for the 5th time during his rookie season. Snow in Green Bay up top. Snow here in Chicago at the bottom.
Can't be inside all the time in these warm weather climates, Kenny. You got to be able to play in all the different types of elements that exist out there in the cities. That's one of the reasons you talk to a lot of fans. They love the championship games because the weather does become an integral part of that championship game.
Third down and 2, and Howard will not get there. Chris Jones along with a couple of teammates. There's Nick Ballore. Well, Howard now at 874. More rushing yards for Jordan Howard than Gale Sayers during his rookie season, although Sayers did have that 6-touchdown game in 65 against the Niners. 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving, and 1 on a punt return for Gale Sayers that day.
Beatty Feathers next on the list, Ken.
Yes. Beatty, one of the great Bear running backs back in the early days of this franchise. There's a flag on the punt. With just over 8 minutes remaining, 4th quarter here in Chicago.
During a return, holding number 33 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down, and timeout.
There it is, 33, Rashad Robinson grabbing hold of Josh Bellamy. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in Chicago. Jordan Howard with 3 rushing touchdowns for the Bears. They lead the Niners 24-6.
And the tip of the hat right now to that Bears front. I really think San Francisco felt offensively if they could control the Bears front, there were plays to be made at the linebacker level and in the secondary, but that Bears front has not allowed that to happen. They've been very good this afternoon.
49ers start from the 10 due to the penalty during the punt. The pass is caught by Carlos Hyde out at the 16-yard line for a gain of 6.
I just think it's amazing how this game flipped. I mean, the first half, San Francisco really controlled the flow of the game. And it was the time of possession, the opportunities, and then that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half when Matt Barkley takes it down and gets the touchdown. All of a sudden, you've got renewed confidence to come out and be a little bit more aggressive in the passing game in the second half.
49ers blocked a punt, forced a turnover with a 6-0 lead, but all Chicago since is Gabbert. And that pass broken out, getting his hand in was Kwiatkowski.
Tough duty for Blaine Gabbert. Right-handed quarterback moving to his left, trying to get it back across the body.
Looking for Chris Harper. 3rd down and 4.
Akeem Hicks right here in the middle has just had a monster of an afternoon.
Sure has. As Gabbert throws over the middle, it's Harper. Harper makes the catch for a 49ers first down. New set of downs for the Niners.
This is our first opportunity to really see Chip Kelly's offense in San Francisco, and it looks much different than Philadelphia. It doesn't seem that the tempo thing as important here this afternoon.
There is a flag. Gabbert stumbles out of bounds at the 29.
Holding. Number 67 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on the center, Daniel Kilgore.
And who do you think's lining up across from him, Kenny? Probably big old Akeem Hicks. Nope. Cornelius Washington drawing the holding penalty. He's tripped over the 29-yard line there.
11th San Francisco penalty. Gabbert pulls it in. Gabbert stumbles out of bounds on the other side, takes a photographer with him.
And there was no viable option for Blaine Gabbert moving to his right. Everybody had come to the left side, so he's moving out to the right here. He has nobody to throw it to down the field, so he's just going to have to get what he can.
Second down at 19. And Gabbert's pass gets batted down. It's Kwiatkowski again.
It's been a tough year for Chicago in regards to injury, but John Fox said, you know what, we're playing a lot of young guys. They're getting some quality reps. You don't have depth right now. That's what happens when the injury bug hits you and you get a lot of your frontline guys out. So you don't have the depth to kind of make up for that imbalance, but what you do is you create depth for the following season. So these are great snaps that guys like Nick Kwiatkowski and John Timu and other guys are getting while these injuries have happened to the Bears this year.
Kwiatkowski, a one-man highlight film during this possession. Short, intended for Torrey Smith.
Nick's got to talk to the equipment guys here in Chicago. They didn't do a good job with the decals on his helmet today.
Right. 5 possessions in the second half for the 49ers, 5 punts. Fair catch called for by Callahan at the 46-yard line.
Well, we talked about that Bears front and the guy who's been the most disruptive all afternoon, Akeem Hicks, and it started right from the first drive for the Chicago Bears. And Colin Kaepernick under siege all afternoon from that front, not having to add blitzers. It was really just the down 4 that were controlling that. So, good job by Akeem Hicks and his guys up front. Really, the difference, I think San Francisco felt very confident coming into this game with matchups at the linebacker and safety level, but that defensive front, that D-line of the Chicago Bears, did not allow it to happen.
So a huge day for Hicks, the former Saint and Patriot. Jordan Howard adding to his totals. Howard over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns today.
You see that third quarter, you go in at halftime and you had Matt Barkley play real well in that 2-minute situation. You come out, now you're able to kind of challenge San Francisco because they've got to defend, run, and pass. Has a big third quarter there with the 50 yards and the 2 touchdowns. And again, San Francisco really struggled to stop the run all season long. Another 100-yard rusher against this Niners defense.
He is the 9th to rush for 100 yards against San Francisco. No other team coming into the weekend had allowed more than 4 100-yard rushers. And here are the 9 saluting Howard today.
Well, you know, some unknown guys. You have Fozzie Whitaker. You got Jaquiz Rogers there. Week 7 for Tampa Bay, filling in for Doug Martin. But you saw him get a little bit better. You know, after that Saints game, Mark Ingram had a big day. That's only on 10 carries when he went for 158. You know, you shut down Jay Ajayi last week, so there's potential there. It's the consistency, and when you're going through a 1-10 season, you know, that's one of the reasons why you find yourself with that type of record. You lack consistency, you lack the ability to make those game-changing plays.
3rd down and 5 as Barkley throws, and it is complete, and then Daniel Brown goes sliding out of bounds, the tight end who makes the catch for a Bears first down.
Working off that tight end spot. Real savvy veteran shove there. Young guys pick up stuff quick, Kenny.
Brown out of James Madison. Matt Barkley looking for his first win as an NFL starting quarterback. Hands it off to Howard. Len Dorsey the tackle with under 4 minutes remaining. Great job by our entire crew in the elements here in Chicago. Our producer Barry Landis, director Brian Lilly, associate director, new father Joe Williams, broadcast associate Paul Marmero, technical producer Sid Drexler, technical director Jared Legrani, Dave Corris, our statistician, crunching the numbers along with Ricky Camps and our spotter Ben Bulma.
And to all the camera guys who were roughing it outside in the elements today, thank you very much. Fantastic pictures all afternoon.
Our guy Win Bernfeld usually in the booth with us. He's up in the elements today.
I think Winnie likes it outside. He doesn't like being in here with us.
You're right. Get him out in the snow.
Yeah,
there he is.
What do you think, Winnie?
He loves it. John Warner, on the other hand, handling the audio nice and warm here in the booth, bundled up. So the Chicago Bears, who had won only 2 games all season over Detroit and Minnesota, both here at home, look ahead to the Detroit Lions on the road next week. As Howard is tackled at the 38-yard line. Detroit leading New Orleans as the Lions look to maintain their lead in the division. Minnesota losing on Thursday. Vikings 6-6. Packers leading Houston 21-7. Green Bay looking to even their record at the 500 mark at 6-6. 49ers will head home, host the Jets, and then it's back east to Atlanta 2 weeks. And then finish up with a couple on the West Coast. And for the Bears, 3 divisional games among their final 4. Hurley back deep for the Niners. Hurley will let it bounce, and it is pinned inside the 5-yard line by McManus. So the 49ers pinned deep with just over 2 minutes remaining in this one. Coming up, America's Game of the Week. Many of you will see the Giants and the Steelers. Others, the Redskins and Cardinals. Or the Buccaneers and the Chargers.
A little bit of a dilemma there for Ben McAdoo fans, right? Western PA guy.
Right.
Going to cheer for your local guy. You're going to go for the Steelers.
Odell Beckham Jr. Antonio Brown. Most touchdown receptions over the last 3 seasons. 2 historic franchises. Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, both drafted in 2004. And they've each won 2 Super Bowls. Going head-to-head today in America's Game of the Week. Gabbert from his own end zone throws. And the catch is made by the tight end McDonald. And McDonald is shaken up. We hit the 2-minute warning in Chicago. Season high 24 points for the Bears.
Today's game is sponsored by Burger King. Now get 10 nuggets for only $1.49. Only at Burger King.
2 minutes remaining in Chicago. Gabbert looking to throw, in trouble. He is sacked in the end zone for a safety by Leonard Floyd.
They talked about how John Fox has built his teams in Carolina and Denver, and this is the piece of the puzzle that he has here. This is the one that he's hoping for, to be that guy here in Chicago. Working against Trent Brown. You're worried about the speed on the upfield shoulder. A nice little move underneath. And right into Blaine Gabbert.
Leonard Floyd, the first-round pick out of Georgia, 9th overall, missed last week's game due to a concussion. That's his 6th sack in 10 games. 6 sacks today for this Chicago Bears defense. Coordinator Vic Fangio, former defensive coordinator out in San Francisco from 2011 through 14 under Jim Harbaugh.
And it'll be interesting to see the growth of Leonard Floyd as he moves forward. I always remember one of the things that John Fox told us about Julius Peppers. And when Julius Peppers first came to him in Carolina in one-on-one pass rush drills, he never let Julius Peppers go one-on-one. And he told him, listen, you're not going to get one-on-one opportunities during a game, so why do you want to practice it? I wonder if he'll take that same approach with Leonard Floyd as he continues to grow. Is he going to work with him to show him how to maneuver and rush the passer against backs with chips and tight ends and different things like that?
Timeout is taken by the Bears. Following the safety, it's now a 20-point Chicago lead. Again, America's Game of the Week coming up next. New York Giants at 8-3. Of course, the Cowboys in first place in the NFC East at 11-1.
Big game next Sunday night. Giants got to get through the Steelers first. But Dallas with the victory against Minnesota on Thursday night. Big game next Sunday against the Giants up in New York.
The only team to defeat the Cowboys this season back in week 1.
So they're kind of in that onside kick formation set up. You've got the punt after the safety. As a kid growing up, I remember the Dolphins doing an onside punt after a safety.
Not this time, as Callahan falls on it for the Bears. State Farm Game Break coming up next prior to America's Game of the Week. Giants and Steelers in Pittsburgh. That is not one of our crew members.
No, and that's young. That's bravado. That's nonsense.
Maybe a couple of other attitudes as well. Down to a minute 54 remaining as Barkley hands it off to Howard.
I always remember John Madden's description of that, though, when he would see the guys with the no shirts on up at Lambeau and all the different cold weather places, and Pat would always make a comment. John's thing was, you don't get a cold from being cold, you get a cold from a bug.
John would also usually circle the stomach.
the red all over the stomach area, and maybe all the empty plastic cups down in the seats below them.
Then he would circle the heat coming out of the head of your teammate Nate Newton.
Among other things.
Right. So the Chicago Bears will go to 3-9 on the season and their 3-game losing streak. For the 49ers, they extend their franchise-long streak, 11 consecutive defeats. Colin Kaepernick pulled in the second half for Blaine Gabbert. San Francisco will drop to 1-11.
Boy, what a difference a week makes. You know, watching the film, getting ready for this game, Colin Kaepernick played so well last week against the Dolphins, and that was a good Dolphins defense, and they put up some big yards and just looked really, really good offensively and defensively too. Jay Ajayi, they shut him down in the running game, and today just a completely different 49er team out there on the field today.
First career victory for Matt Barkley as an NFL starting quarterback. So the Bears win it 26-6. For Darryl Johnston and Laura Oakman, this is Kenny Albert as we send you to Los Angeles for the State Farm Game Break Show. Kurt, take it away.